Jefferson climbs the ladder. Oh my goodness! Come
on! Woo! We're going to swing for the fences today, ladies and gents. It's Holden, it's Joey Work, and Gary, and good morning to Brian C. I just want to do this right off the top. Get everybody ready today. It's almost showtime. Let's see if these chumps show up on time for once. I pay good money for the show. We purposefully started 2 minutes late, not because we didn't want to get everybody the show on time, but because I wanted to tweak Brian just a little bit. Brian, wonderful to see you this morning. Gary, wonderful to see you this morning. And Joey Work, wonderful to see you this morning. I mean, everybody's talking about last night's UFC card. And if you go look on the Twitter machine, tons of screenshots from our members winning, tons of winning bets from you, Joey Work. Summer 33 is the code. Get in right now. Our DFS product for all our sports, baseball, DFS, golf, everything's going on. Joey Work, how the hell are you? How did last night go for you, dude?
Good. It was a fun card. I actually did lose some money on the UFC, so I'm not going to lie to the people. But, yeah, it was a lot of fun. I got it back in baseball. I did have ice cream. I'm lactose intolerant. I did have ice cream, so that's why I was a minute late. So whoever was complaining, it was the reason we were late was because me. I was sitting on the toilet, and I may have to run during the show back to the toilet.
I regret going to you first today. Gary. I don't know where we go from there, buddy. I don't know where we go. Brian understands now what goes on here on the show. And then, Gary, let's talk here, buddy. We got a 9-game slate today. Not to dive in head first into the slate, but, boy, your Braves continue just to lay the hammer down, dude. And you got your full regalia today. Congratulations. These guys are something special, and we got a fun matchup in that Braves-Marlins game.
Yeah, I mean, this Braves team just absolutely destroys the Marlins. It's incredible. I mean, ever since last year, 2 years ago, the Marlins kept on hitting Ronald Acuna. The hatred is real between these two teams. I think the hate is even worse than the other teams in the division. And Ronald especially takes this matchup personally because he has been hit by them so many times. It hasn't happened this year yet, I don't think. But, man, this team is just firing on all cylinders right now. I think potentially they could challenge the Twins, the 2016 Twins, I think it is, for the most homers ever by a team. I think it was 306 homers that they had. I mean, the Braves are close to 150, I think, right now. I mean, it's just crazy. I mean, they're just hitting bomb after bomb after bomb. And I think you just play them on every slate, no matter who they're playing against. On Friday night, everybody was like, oh, wait, we're not going to play him against this young kid. He looks pretty good. What did they do? They hit 4 bombs in the first inning. Yesterday, everybody's like, oh, Yuri Perez is such a monster. He's had the lowest ERA of all of June. Yeah, but you haven't fucking played the Braves yet. And then they fucking smashed them yesterday. So I just love it. I love the Braves. I love talking about the Braves. And guess what? The Braves are going to be low-owned again today. They're so expensive. It's going to be hard to fit all these guys in. But, man, I got to have some Braves.
All right. This is just note to self. Every show, ask Gary about the Braves. We'll get his thoughts, and then we'll get into the game in a minute, and everything's going to go well. A couple other things. Like button would be great. Just do that. No JJ today, if you notice. I was going to make something up about JJ, but whatever. I think he went to go. I think he had too many macchiatos this morning. Good morning, Daniel Mordorf. Every time you get Joey Work is a good day. No question. We are all looking for Phallic, Jason Graham. I'm looking for Big Phallic too. Big Phallic took down like $100 and something thousand. My favorite thing about Phallic is that everybody makes fun of him all the time for his shitty picks. And then the shitty picks go off and then he wins $100,000. So
he won. He came in first and second. He had 150,000,
yeah.
150,000.
Yeah.
Everybody, I just got to interject here. So, I'm one of those people that kind of laughs under my breath at Phallic's scores when he puts them up. Cause I'm like, there's absolutely no way I would ever play that lineup. But then you got to think of Phallic's mindset here. Phallic goes into every slate thinking that he's going to lose every entry fee. He doesn't care. So if you follow Phallic, you have to go in with that mentality, knowing that you're going to lose every slate, and then you're going to hit 100K. like a couple times a year. Like it's just what he does.
A couple of times a year.
I can't quite describe it, but the man is just really good in all facets of the game. I just hope that, my audio is sufficient for him today.
It is. It's good. It's good.
So.
Don't Phallic. You know what? You can be on mute and Phallic would be happy today. Phallic has nothing to complain about. Here's my personal heckler, Abe Toro. You can meet me there and blow me. So we also, who was that? The heat advisor here in Atlanta. It's going to be hot in Atlanta. Let's get into the weather. Then we'll get into the DFS. I always ask Gary about the DFS games first. He'll break down the pitchers. We usually break down the whole pitching slate. We do it game by game here on a weekend because it's a DFS and bet show. Obviously, Joey Works going to take care of you on the bet side as well. But I do want you to know a few things about the weather today. 92, hot in Atlanta, so hitting conditions perfect. Winds blowing out to right field, upper 80s in Philadelphia. So that's nice. Small ballpark there. 80s and a little humid in Anaheim today. And we got rain in Cincinnati with the Padres and the Reds and rain with Cleveland and the Cubs. They actually moved that game back to a 5:05 Eastern start. So they moved the Cubs and the Guardians back just a little bit there. Some players that are out today. No Christian Yelich, no Will Smith and Sean Murphy. So two of the top catchers on the slate out. Yoshida's out. Rizzo's out. So that's just some stuff that's going on. Gary, damn, not getting notifications from y'all no more. I'm here though. What up, fellas? Can we get Phallic to send cameos out to people just to let them know that we're on the air? That's something that I think we need to do. So Phallic, whenever you show up, he's probably not right now. He's probably sleeping. And then Tony Snow giving Joey Work the ultimate compliment there. Congratulations, Joey Work. Congratulations. All right, let's get into this. And of course, first game today from the DFS side, a 9-game slate. Miami, Atlanta, low 90s, nice and hot, really good pitching matchup. This will be the third time this season that Alcantara has faced the Braves, Gary. He's only 7,500 today. Strider is 12.8. He's obviously rebounded over his last two starts after a rough patch. Talk to me here. How do we build lineups, and are you starting either one of these pitchers if you're playing a 3-max even?
Probably no. None of the pitchers for me. Spencer Strider, he's 12.8 now. I mean, that's a ridiculously high price tag, and he's got the same projection as Gausman, who is 1,800 cheaper on today's slate. I still think Strider's going to be the second or third highest owned pitcher on the slate today against Miami. This Miami team has been a little pesky. They got Luis Arraez, obviously chasing 400 this year. Jazz Chisholm's back in the lineup for them. So, he struggled a little bit against lefties here recently over the last month and a half, 2 months. So I don't know, man. I can't pay 12.8 for Strider on today's slate. I just think, I've been prioritizing bats lately in general. So I'm not going to be on Strider here, and definitely not going to be on Sandy either. I'm just going to continue to ride the Braves train against these Marlins. They just destroy them. Like I said earlier, in every matchup, they hate the Marlins. The feeling is definitely mutual there. But yeah, load up on the Braves today, top to bottom. We talk about it all the time. It's going to be really hard to fit these studs in when you're paying for in general today, because we have really no real cheap pitching options on today's slate. So you're going to have to get creative. You're going to have to play a pitcher that you're really not comfortable with, like a Colin Ray or somebody like that down there in the $5,600 price range. But I think Ray is probably my favorite there to fit these Braves bats. But like I said, I'm probably thinking 3% or less if you get all the Braves studs together in one lineup. You will be completely different on today's slate. But like I said, you're going to have to get really creative, and you're going to have to click somebody very uncomfortable in the pitching position to do that.
What about a little 7-9-1-2-4? You'd go Rosario, Harris, Acuna, Olsen, Albies.
Yeah, unfortunately, Arcia has been really bad lately. He hasn't really looked good at the plate. He hasn't really looked good in the field lately. I think he's having a midseason crisis here. I think it's going to come to a close here soon enough. But I can never go wrong with a Ozuna, Rosario, Harris, Acuna stack. Can't go wrong with that. It's going to be even lower owned. Due to the bottom of the lineup factor. So definitely like that a lot.
You either go Albies or Austin Riley to finish that stack off. All right, Joey, let's get into the betting side of things. And guys, this correlates a lot, the betting and the DFS. And I remember when we had the bet side, we started the bet side, Joey and all the other guys from the bet. I'm like, guys, you guys are going to be good at DFS because we use the same analytics. It's different. It's totally different, but it's also totally the same at the same time. So, Joey, we've got a minus 215 price for the Braves, plus 185 for the Marlins. 8.5 is the total here. How are you feeling about Alcantara against the Braves?
I think he actually probably has a decent start here. I know he has, the Braves have good BVP versus him. His strikeouts are down this year, and his advanced numbers are not very good this year at all. It's crazy how a lot of the pitchers that were in the Cy Young candidates last year are just doing absolutely terrible this year. But I'm not exactly sure what that correlates to. Maybe the pitch clock. Maybe they're getting double checked for the sticky stuff. Who knows? But obviously Spencer Strider on the other end, top 5 pitcher in baseball to date. The Marlins, I think the Marlins are definitely going to go on a run of losses coming up shortly, if not soon. If you've seen like the last couple of weeks, they've been winning a lot of games, but check their level of competition. It's not the best. They've been playing a bunch of bullshit teams. Now they get the Braves here, and the Braves just beating them around. So the Braves probably win this game, but I do expect this game. Obviously, the total is 8.5. So I do expect this game to be low scoring. I'm not laying minus 220 with the Braves. I'm not laying minus 220 with, the Braves versus my brother's team. So this is essentially stay away, dog or pass, and I'm just going to pass.
All right, very good. Move on to our next game, Washington and Philly. Again, it's really, really warm out there. Last weekend, Gary said, go start yourself some Ranger Suarez. I did, and it smashed. It was terrific. He's 8K on DK today. He's going up against Trevor Williams, who's a bit of a punching bag. So from a DFS side here, Suarez is 8K. I have a feeling you like Suarez again. And how popular the Phillies going to be, and how popular should they be, Gary?
Ranger Suarez is, so it's funny because a few starts ago, like a month ago, I was talking shit about him to Steve Boynton, saying, oh, he's terrible. He's not that good. And then ever since then, he's been awesome. And I bet on I jumped on board the Ranger Suarez train. Everybody is going to be jumping on the Ranger Suarez train today. I think he's the chalk SP2 of the slate, which, that's never a good thing. I still like him here. This Washington lineup is a little bit pesky, but over the last 30 days, they do have a 24% strikeout rate against left-handed pitching. All he really has to do is navigate around Riley Adams and Lane Thomas, and maybe some Stone Garrett, because his numbers versus lefties over the last month have been pretty good. But I still like him here. I don't know if he's going to be on my main team just because of the ownership and all that, but I do like them. And the Phillies bats, they just went ham yesterday. So this team is going to be very, very popular today. They put up 19 runs yesterday. And this is another awesome spot. This is one of those DFS, things that I look at. Bad pitcher, even worse bullpen. And that's here in the Nationals and Trevor Williams. So got to like all this lineup top to bottom. They got Derek Hall in there. Cheap first base option. Alec Boehm went ham yesterday. Like him a lot. Bryson Stott. Like the whole lineup. Schwarber on down. So they're definitely in main team contention for me. I think they come in third in ownership as far as the teams today. And I think they should probably be the highest owned team. So I don't know. They're definitely in contention for my main team. I haven't decided yet. Hopefully I'll decide before the end of the show here. But I like
any thoughts on Jamer on Candelario today behind Lane Thomas if you want to do a Nats mini stack against a lefty?
More
Lane Thomas.
I never play that dude. Okay. I always prefer him against the righty for whatever reason. This year, his numbers versus righties are a lot better. So I'll pass on Yamer.
Felix on Alcantara today.
He's going to ship 100K, I'm telling you.
I know he is. All right, Joey, let's get into this one from the betting side. Nationals, Phillies, teams play a lot every single year. Total's 9.5, and the Nats are a plus 210 dog, minus 250 for the Phillies. Even if you want to bet them on the run line, they're minus 130. Any bets that we can come up with in this game?
Hardly an over. The Phillies do have good BVP versus Trevor Williams bat, actually over 400 x-weighted on base percentage versus him, slugging almost 600 against him. He doesn't strike many people out. I've been on the wrong side of some caps of Trevor Williams so far this year. On the other end, the best when we bet on the Nationals is versus a lefty. Here we go. We got another lefty. We bet on them 2 days ago versus a lefty in first 5. They won that game. They won after the first 5. The Nationals top 5 in almost all offensive categories versus lefties. They lead the league in doubles versus lefties. So when you want to bet on the Nationals is versus a lefty. Ranger Suarez doesn't, fully scare me. I know he's pitched good a couple of his last starts, but it's going to be hot there. I do expect the Nationals put up a fair share of runs, maybe 3-4 runs. Their team total is 3.5. So if you want to go that way, that would be the lean. But I definitely expect runs from both teams.
Ooh, all right. Like button time. Hit that for us. Help the algorithm. Nice crowd today. JJ will be back next week. Also, we got Gary. We got Joey Work. I'm Holden. Welcome to the team. Summer 33 is one of our codes. We got 3rd and 30. The easiest one to type in is Summer 33. 33% off your first payment of a weekly or monthly plan. Just because this is legitimately the dead zone of the season. We're 67 days away from kickoff of the NFL season, but who's counting? We've got a great NFL team. What's that?
Dead zone. That's disrespectful, Holden.
Well, this is what the dead zone is. And it's baseball, it's golf, and it's MMA. And I keep saying there's a ton of stuff to bet on. What's up?
We got Wimbledon starting tomorrow. That's pretty important. Susie's been crushing the tennis streets.
There you
this
go.
Is not the dead zone. Everybody thinks it's the dead zone. It is not.
Run Pure Sports
keeps on printing money no matter what. And by the way, until July 4th, do not use Summer 33. Use Third 33.
Don't confuse. Just use Summer 33. It's so much easier.
You can get $1,000. We're going to give away. Run Pure Sports is going to give away $1,000 for everyone that uses Third 33. For somebody that uses Third 33 on July 4th. So use Third 33 instead of Summer 33 today.
33. Hold on. I'm going to put this up here because nobody tells me anything.
Holden.
What?
If you go to the
33.
If you go to the bet sheet, what fucking sport are we up the most units on?
Baseball?
Yeah. Don't fucking call it the dead zone.
It's hey, listen. I got to host 4-hour shows on VSiN for the last week and next week. It's the dead zone, dude. But you know what? There's still a lot going on. You guys jumped on my ass there way too early. Third 33. Apparently, we're giving away $1,000. That's totally awesome. They said this on the show with me. Wonderful. Yeah. They said the code on the show with me that they're giving away $1,000. I didn't know about it. People, I'm only as good as the information fed to me. That's all I can say. Yes, it is the dead zone. But you know what? It's the dead zone, but there's still a lot going on. Baseball, MMA. Susie's got the Wimbledon. Wimbledon next week. AP's been all over that. The tennis team always seems to crush. NASCAR. JJ does the NASCAR thing. So there you go. All right. Tell them once again, Gary, let me know. 3rd and 33. You get 33% off, and we're giving away $1,000.
On July 4th, they will be picking somebody to win $1,000. That's use that code.
Jake Rogers of the Detroit Tigers in the house today. Saying it hurts, and he agrees with Joey. Joey could say people have 8 fingers. All people have 8 fingers, and Uncle T would agree with him. I'm 100% sure about that. Next game to get into will be Milwaukee at Pittsburgh. So you were talking about Colin Ray on one side, Mr. Gary on the other side. We got Rich Hill, and Rich Hill's been up and down. We know Milwaukee does not hit left-handers very well. They don't hit very much, but Rich Hill hasn't really been terrific lately, although what was it? His one start against Milwaukee came a couple of weeks ago, 9.9 DK points. Either of the pitchers in play here, and do you like anything offensively, Milwaukee at Pittsburgh?
Man, I am so gun-shy about playing any pitcher from the Pirates. I played them the last 2 nights, and I've gotten crushed both nights. I mean, this Milwaukee team out of nowhere just learns how to hit against this Pirates team and their starters. So I can't do it today with Rich Hill. Watch him go out there now. I'm going to hop off now, and he's going to go out there and throw a gem. The way it always happens. But I can't do it. But like I said, you're going to need to find some sort of cheap pitcher on today's slate to fit in all the Brave studs and Texas studs and Houston studs. All the awesome offenses that we have today. So you're going to have to click one of these names that you're not really comfortable with. I think I prefer Ray. But man, it's just really pulling hairs. They're both bad pitchers. I mean, they're not good pitchers, but like I said, you're going to have to sacrifice something at the pitching position to get those bats in that you want. So I'll keep them in my pool and I'll give them a decent projection, probably under 15. I'm seeing Rich Hill right now has a 14 projection, which is actually pretty good for his price tag. And then you have somebody. Well, we'll talk about that game later, but yeah, no real interest here in the bats, and no real interest in the pitchers either, unless I'm trying to fit the Braves studs in, and then I'm just gonna choose one of the two and just hope it works out.
Joey, the Pirates are slight favorites at -15, -105 for the Brewers. The total here is 9. It's kind of a coin flip game from the bet side, and it's an ugly game too. But can you find some goodness in it?
I mean, I bet the Pirates the last 2 games here. I'm probably going to stay away here, but yeah, Milwaukee seems to score early, and then their bullpen fucking gives up more runs. And the Pirates came back and won game 1. They almost came back and won yesterday again. Both games have been very, very high scoring, and neither of these pitchers am I really afraid of. Colin Ray's advanced numbers not very good. Rich Hill's advanced numbers not very good. I get it. Milwaukee can't hit lefties, but I mean, like, you look at these lineups too. These lineups are filled with 24-year-olds, 25-year-olds. The average age of these lineups got to be 25 years old. Throw out Andrew Metuchen, and everybody's fucking under 30 years old. This is crazy. But yeah. I expect some runs from both teams here. I know it's looking like it may rain. I'm seeing 65% rain here in Pittsburgh.
I'm not as worried about this one, Joey.
I'm with you. The rain will be fine for this one.
Yeah, I'm not as worried about it, but yes, there could be a little bit of if there's a delay or anything. This is not the game I'm worried about the game in Cincinnati. I'm not as worried about it in this one. But okay.
Well, yeah, I mean, I definitely lean over in this game, but I'm going to stay.
Yeah, and Joey's right. I mean, there is a lot of rain here. They're going to try and play through it, though. Next game that we have, boys, Boston at Toronto. Garrett Whitlock and Kevin Gausman. So Gary Gausman will be the natural pivot off of Spencer Strider. He's almost $2,000 cheaper. Garrett Whitlock on the other side going up against a Toronto team that is very inconsistent at the plate. They got the names. They just don't score very consistently. So how much Gausman are you going to have? Is Whitlock in play? Are either one of these offenses in play, Gary?
Yeah, so I think Kevin Gausman is going to be the highest owned pitcher on the slate today.
Ooh.
But when I say that, I don't think anybody's going to get above like 35%. Like, I think you're going to see Gausman, Strider up around there, Suarez up around there, and then it's going to be kind of spread out a bit after that. So, but Kevin Gausman has been absolutely awesome. I love him in this spot, 11K. I think it's too cheap for him. I mean, he's got the same strikeout rate over the last month that Strider does, and he has less of a walk rate. So I like him here quite a bit. I'll be over the field on him for sure. Definitely no Red Sox bats against him. And I also like Whitlock on the other side. I'm not really a Whitlock guy. I don't know what it is. Like, his advanced numbers look pretty decent to me. But then I look at his box score and it's like, man, that's very underwhelming. I was not expecting that after seeing what his advanced numbers are. So, but I'm not scared of this Blue Jays team. I do like Whitlock here quite a bit. He's cheap enough today. He's 6,900. He's probably the cheapest guy that I feel comfortable with today on today's slate. So, and I'm seeing about less than 10% ownership on him today too. So, could be a good way to unlock a Brave stack by throwing Garrett Whitlock in there. But I don't think we see a lot of runs here. I like both pitchers here and no bats.
Joey Work, it's a lower total here. One of the lower totals on the slate at 8 games in Toronto, -200 favorites for the Blue Jays, +170 for Boston. Talk to me here. Is there any angle to bet this game?
I mean, this Red Sox lineup looks terrible. They got Rob Refsnyder batting at 5 hole, and then it just gets worse from down even below that. I think Gausman probably shoves here. On the other end, you never know what you're going to expect from this Toronto team. As you mentioned, their lineup looks good on paper, just like the fucking Padres, but they just can't score. This is a park that has played towards the over this year, especially since they moved in the fences. So I do like Toronto to get in on the board early. I was looking at Toronto in the first 5, lay half run, but it's -140, and you guys know me, I ain't laying that number. So that was the lean. Essentially, I'll likely will stay away. I mean, Whitlock does have decent numbers versus Toronto team, but in less than 40 plate appearances. He is a 2-pitch guy. He's a sinker changeup guy. He rarely throws any other pitches. So I do expect Toronto to score some runs, probably win the game at margin. But at the number, I'm going to stay away.
Yeah, we'll stay away spot. Okay, we got some weather again. You guys got to keep on top of this yourself, because San Diego, Cincinnati, Lots of rain today. Gary, before we even get into this, how do you usually handle these situations? Because on one hand, if everybody's fading it because there's a likelihood the game's getting rained out, okay, you're getting massive leverage. But on the other hand, there's a chance this game doesn't even play. So talk to me here. Are you comfortable with either pitcher? Are you comfortable? Well, not Adrian Morejon. Are you comfortable with Abbott? Are you comfortable going to the offenses today?
Man, it's tough. Like, it's tough for me to how to quantify that, because I'm seeing more of a chance of delay late in the game. So they could get in 5 and they call the game and be fine and be done with it, which sucks for DFS because you don't get all the bats and you don't get a chance to get the full length of run from the pitchers. I don't know. I think this game plays fine today. Maybe with some interruptions, delays, or whatever. So I did list Abbott on the playbook, but man, this guy is avoiding disaster. Like, he's got some of the worst advanced metrics I've ever seen in my life. And he just keeps on going out and putting up 25 DraftKings points every start. I don't understand it. The San Diego team, I have been playing them against lefties in every matchup for the last 3 or 4 weeks, and it really hasn't been paying off because their metrics on paper for the last 30 look really good, but then whenever I play them, they just shit the bed. So I know they got some locker room struggles going on right now. Nobody's getting along and all that, but I don't think I'm going to be on San Diego here. I think they're going to be one of the higher owned offenses on the slate. I'm going to side on the side that Abbott is going to somehow Houdini himself to another 20 or 25 DraftKings points. I did list them on the playbook today. And it's strictly he's not going to be owned at all because he has a 10 projection for 9,200. But it is risky with weather out there. So I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I might just fade him just because I don't want to deal with the risk. And the double risk that, regression finally hits here and Chalk San Diego runs off the slate, which would suck for me because I'm definitely not going to have any San Diego here. But I do like the Cincinnati Reds bats here quite a bit. They just announced Morejon is the starter for them today, bullpen game for them. And I like this offense quite a bit, top to bottom. I like everybody in this lineup for Cincinnati. I'm seeing a lot of green here for last 30 days against lefties. Friedel, 546 WOBA. McLean, 438 WOBA. Jake Fraley, 360 WOBA. Even Votto's hitting lefties well last 30 days. And Spencer Steer is he might be my favorite Cincinnati Red because I play him more than any other Red in this lineup. I like him here today. He smashes left-handed pitching. Hopefully he gets to face Morejon to hit that bomb in his first at bat, which I expect here today. So yeah, I like the Cincinnati bats here quite a bit, and I'm not going to have any pitcher probably.
Hey Joey, just from a macro view here, teams like the Padres and the Mets, it just seems like there's shit shows going on behind the scenes. When you're capping, do you take that into account, or are you just looking at the day's matchup?
Of course. You got to do how they've been playing recent. I know a lot of people don't like to do it, but I watch a lot of baseball and I do an eye test, and an eye test it is, so you can tell the Mets, their offense has struggled. Their bullpen has been absolutely terrible. So yesterday we took the Mets on the first 5, they won, they did win the game. They won the first 5, but you just got to, I don't know. I as I mentioned, I watch a lot of baseball, so I see what they've done the day before, how the lineup looks, how they even look at the plate, how a specific batter looks at the plate, just the minor things that, a casual person who doesn't watch, as much baseball or fucking, that's just looking at numbers wouldn't see.
All right. So with that being said, let's get into this game. Again, could see some rain. Morejon on the mound against Abbott. Totals 11. Yeah. We got a big 11 in the Great America Small Park. Padres plus 10 dogs. And then on the other side, we've got the Reds at minus 130. Talk to me, Joey Work.
Even in the small park, 11 is quite a high number here. Mm-hmm. I do expect runs. Don't get me wrong. As does the public, as does Vegas. Because it's looking like Morejon pitches 1 or 2 innings at the most. Then they handed over this guy, Pedro Avila, who has been absolutely fucking terrible in the minors. His ERA is almost 9 in the minors. They're calling him up now because he has decent stuff, strikeouts, but He's been in the minors since 2015. He's been in the minors for fucking 10 years. How good can he be? So I definitely expect runs from both teams here. Abbott on the other end, he has pitched decent in a couple starts, but I mean, he hasn't pitched. He hasn't pitched against the best teams. That's for sure. He pitched against Milwaukee. We say how bad they are versus lefties. Colorado at home, Baltimore. I mean, these are teams that definitely struggle on the offensive end here. His numbers are, quite good. He is walking people at almost 11% clip. And his hard hit is through the roof. So I do expect runs from both teams. This San Diego Padres lineup, as I mentioned earlier, on paper, this team looks fucking good. They got Nelson Cruz in the 8-hole. I mean, this guy matched his lefties in his career in the 8-hole. So yeah, I definitely expect runs. That's why it's at 11. I'm gonna stay away. But yeah, this game probably they probably scored 20 runs in this game.
Ooh, so maybe we like to get a little bump in the DFS streets, folks. We got the Dodgers and the Royals. The Royals put up a 5 spot last night, and they beat the Dodgers in the first. Then they beat the Dodgers 6-4, I think was the final score there. Gonsolin and Brady Singer pitching matchup. Gary, talk to me here about the bats with the Dodgers. Are the Dodgers going to be popular? They smash everybody, and I would feel like we want to kind of attack Brady Singer today, no?
Yeah, I always enjoy attacking Brady Singer. He's given up crazy amounts of hard contact to both sides of the plate, over 52% over the last 30 days. And over the course of the season, almost 60% to both sides of the plate, hard contact anyway. 369 WOBA against lefties, 359 against righties. He does not discriminate. He is just bad this year. I don't know what happened. I played him a lot last year, and something has happened to a lot of these pitchers, like you said earlier. I think it might have something to do with the pitch clock. They're getting a little rust or something. But yeah, I definitely like the Dodgers here. I just did a little refresh on Saber too, and with the news of Morajon starting for San Diego, I think Cincinnati might actually be the highest owned stack on the slate today, just because they're a little cheaper. You can fit the 5-man pretty comfortably. So Cincinnati is definitely gonna take some ownership away from San Diego on the other side. So I'm still not going to play San Diego. So I still think they get ownership. But back to the Dodgers here, I do think they are the chalk up there with Cincinnati. It's a really good spot. I think it's 85 degrees in Kansas City. You got to like this team. Mookie Betts is on just an absolute heater right now. I like the bottom of the lineup too with David Peralta, Jason Hayward, James Outman. You got a cheap catcher today too, and Austin Barnes, who's in the lineup. So $2,100 catcher goes a long way for your lineup, even though he doesn't really do much on the offensive side. But yeah, I do like the Dodgers here. I don't hate the KC side either on the other side. Just mini stacks, fillers though, mostly. Gonsolin hasn't been as good as he was last year. And I think with the warm weather here, I think the Kansas City Royals can put up a few runs here against them.
Like a little
Freddie Freeman probably might be my favorite guy
for
them today. I like filling in my lineup with a cheap catcher option, and Furman fits that bill today. So I definitely on board with the Dodgers. Probably be underweight on them. Probably not going to make my main team. I think I'm just going to plant my flag on the Braves being on my main team today and move on about my day. What
do you think of little Maikel Garcia one-off?
Yeah, I like him. He's been hitting the ball pretty good. 320 WOBA over the last 30 days. Only a 17% strikeout rate, 10% walk rate. So, yeah, I like him.
You're fine with him? All right. Joey, we finally got the Dodgers at less than a 2-1 price, minus 180. Royals plus 155 at home, 9.5 total. The Dodgers coming out flat again today?
No, I think the Dodgers. I'm taking the Dodgers on the first 5 here, laying a half run, minus 118 to be a FanDuel. I think Gonsolin sucks, but he's going to pitch good versus Royals team. He's a smoke and mirrors kind of guy, in my opinion. He'll pitch good versus shitty teams. When it comes to the playoffs, don't count on Tony Gonsolin. I'll tell you that right now. All right. I know he's had 2 bad starts. That's why we're getting probably this cheap of number on the first 5. We haven't been able to get this number on the Dodgers in a while. Brady Singer on the other end, as you mentioned, it's really hot here. He gives up runs every single start. He's just off a good start, which is absolutely perfect here. His advanced numbers are terrible. Guy throws a sinker, slider, another 2-pitch guy. Throws a changeup like 5% of the time, so let's just throw that out. Sinker, slider guy. I mean, At least Gonsolin misses in multiple pitches, throws 4 different pitches, and all I see is blue on Brady Singer's advanced numbers. Hard hit rate 55%. X-weighted on base percentage 362 against. He's barely striking anybody out. I mean, this is taking a better team here, better offense. The better starter of the two on the first 5.
Let's go Freddie Freeman, man. Ground out with the bases loaded last night. Let's have a big day, Freddie Freeman. See, both free money Freddies. Brittany, like button will be great. It is not the dead zone in the sports calendar. It is such a busy time in the sports calendar. We've got Joey Work, baseball, MMA. We got Gary, baseball. We've got Wimbledon starting up tomorrow, and AP is going to have the yeoman's work there on the tennis side. JJ's a big tennis guy too. So we got you covered on both the DFS side and the bet side. And according to Gary, third 33. I mean, yeah, I'm going to type it in again. Just third 33, 3RD 33. So you get 33% off first payment. And then we're giving away what?
Do you know why we have that code?
Well, it doesn't make any sense to me. It's the third 33. It's the third time we're giving away 33.
Third and Schlong. So it's a pretty big deal.
We should have just done Schlong 33, and it would have been easier to.
That would have been awesome, actually.
Way to go, Schlong.
I agree with you.
Schlong here. It was a nice hire. I like it. Oh yeah, you're right, Redmond. NBA Summer League. Bruce just shipped the USFL championship. We will have Summer League. Rubio's been on fire with that. Kurt will be on fire with that as well. So lots going on. Third 33, third and Schlong is what it is. Liliana checking in. 7 F-bombs from Joey Work and 1 take. Respect. Good sign. The man will cash today. I mean, you had 7 and 1 breakdown, Joey. That's impressive. I like that.
That's just, yeah. Sorry.
Hey, Gary, I know Joey's got a bet on the Yankees Cardinals. So before we get into the DFS side, let's get into the bet here. Garrett Cole, Jordan Montgomery, the Yankees lineup is hot garbage. Yesterday, wow, what a performance in game 1 by the Cardinals offense. -10 on both sides, Joey. 7.5 is the total. What's the play in the Yankees and the Cardinals?
Yeah, so I'm taking the first 5 under 4 here. This will be Monty's maybe first start back against the Yankees. I'm pretty sure it is first start against his old team. He's pitched really good his last couple starts. He's limited hard hit rate to almost under 30%. He's given up, even his last 6 starts, he's only given up more than 2 earned runs in 1 of them. Only more than 1 run in 2 of them. So he's pitched really, really good. He's pitched versus, a couple decent teams here. Now he gets the Yankees team's offense. Definitely does not scare me at all. I mean, they got Harrison Bader in the 4-hole, IKF in the 5-hole. This team's offense has been absolutely terrible as of late. They got blanked in one of the games yesterday. They scored some runs on a second game. And then the best pitcher for the Yankees on the other end, Garrett Cole. So the Yankees know they need Garrett Cole to go out there and shove, because otherwise they got a very slim chance of winning the game. So I think Cole puts his best foot forward here, limits at least St. Louis for the first 5. His advanced numbers have been decent. He has got hit hard a little bit, but other than that, his Ks are up. He's not walking anybody. So I do expect this game to be low scoring, at least until even the bullpens. The Yankees bullpen's quite good, and St. Louis I have top 5 in baseball too. So if you want to take a full game under, I'm not totally against it. I prefer the first 5 though.
All right, Gary, from a pitching side, we got Garrett Cole and Jordan Montgomery. Cole actually got pushed back in the start. He's 11-2. Montgomery 7-8. Any bats you like here? And what are we doing with the 2 starting pitchers?
Yeah, definitely no bats for me here. Just can't do it. I'm incredibly pissed off about the St. Louis Cardinals yesterday after they went ham, because I loved them on Friday night, and it just did not work out. Whenever I play the Cardinals, it's just a utter letdown normally. And now they get Garrett Cole. Can't do it today. And Garrett Cole, he's going to be lower owned today. He's probably the lowest owned of Strider and Gausman for sure up top. So he's a nice pivot off of those guys in tournaments. I can't do it. I'm just not a Garrett Cole guy. I think he sucks. I post sticky stuff. Not sucks, but you know what I mean? He's not the same dude. Let's put it that way. And I just don't see myself paying this tag. I'd much rather pay Kevin Gausman here. But yeah, he's going to be double or triple the ownership of Cole here. So if you want to play a low-owned Garrett Cole, today's probably it. And Jordan Montgomery is probably going to pick up a little steam. I'm seeing him. He is the 4th or 5th highest owned pitcher on the slate today. I'm also normally not a Jordan Montgomery guy, but this is the first time that he has faced New York. He's been pitching well. I don't like this New York lineup at all. So I have interest here in Jordan Montgomery, but I don't know if I'd land on him on a main team environment, but 7,800 is definitely enticing. He's got, I see a bunch of green on my sheet here for the last 30 days for Jordan Montgomery, which is a good thing. He's getting massive ground ball rates to both sides of the plate. Only 15% fly ball percentage to both sides of the plate over the last month. He's not walking anybody, and he's striking out a lot of batters. So, I mean, that's a recipe for success. So I might be talking myself onto some Jordan Montgomery action on my main team possibly. So, yeah, I like Jordan Montgomery here. And, I mean, you can, like I said, you can play Garrett Cole if you want. He's going to be low owned. He's a nice pivot off Strider and Gausman. I'm just not going to do it today.
Okay. Very good.
So Lindy is correct. He did pitch against them last year. He went 5 innings, 1 hit ball, no earned. Good call. Thank you.
Not bad. Not bad at all. All right, let's continue. We only got a couple of games left here in DFS, and then we'll get to the bet side. Houston visiting the Rangers once again. This is my team. The Rangers run line has been very, very good to me this season. I don't know about going back here today, though, Gary. Maybe you and Joey can talk some sense into me here. Andrew Heaney and this is a nice matchup for the Rangers at home. Sean Dubin. So we're going to get a bunch of bullpen arms today, I would think, Gary. What about Heaney, and do you like any bats in this game?
Heaney has some of the worst advanced metrics I've ever seen against right-handed bats over the last 30 days. Just really, really bad. He's just given up so much hard contact, so much fly balls, 277 ISO, 404 WOBA against just really bad, 47% hard contact. Just been getting beat up. I like the game stack here a lot. I like bats on both sides a lot. And I think you can fit them in here too, because we got some cheaper options in both lineups. I think I actually lean the Houston side here as far as what side I like to stack in DFS more. Just because Heaney has just been so bad. But this other guy, Sean Dubin, has not been good in the minors or anywhere. And Texas is another one of my favorite offenses to stack. They're just so good top to bottom. And I like the bottom of the lineup for them. It's the same guys. Ezekiel Duran and Leody Taveras are always going to be in every single one of my 5-man stacks for this Texas Rangers team. DraftKings just refuses to raise their price. I mean, these guys should both be over 4K, and they're both under 3,500, which is insane to me. I don't understand why they do that. And then Corey Seager has just been on another level this season. The shift going away has helped him tremendously. So yeah, I like both sides of this game. I like the offense, but I slightly lean the Houston side. But while I do think the Texas lineup is better overall, I think we'll get lower ownership here on the Houston side.
All right, Joey, let's talk about this game. Total's 9.5. Juice to the under -120. Rangers -140. +20 for the Astros. In Texas, the Silver Boot is on the line, by the way. It's a Silver Boot series. Joey, thoughts on this game in suburban Dallas?
Yeah, I do expect Houston to score some runs, obviously, off Heaney. On the other end, Houston's bullpen has been quite good. Dubin, I expect probably to go 2 or 3 innings, then it'll probably be a bullpen game by committee to just go new arm every inning. And that may be actually better for the Astros. Change up the arm angles, change up the new pitchers. That's always can be bullpen games can be better for, sometimes better for the bullpen team, the team throwing the bullpen. You get a new arm out there every day, every inning. The hitters are uncomfortable not seeing the same pitcher 2 times through, 3 times through. You could play matchups and stuff. So yeah, I definitely expect that over Andrew Heaney going 6 innings. I mean, he's pitched against this team a lot. 356 x-weighted on base percentage against this team. They've seen over 120 at bats versus him. His advanced numbers have been bad all year. Basically in his career, guy gives up a home run, 2 home runs every fucking game, I feel like. So yeah, it's dog or pass here, but I'm likely just going to stay away.
All right, last game before we get to just the bet side with Joey, and we'll get some more thoughts from Gary before we get out of here. We do have the Cubs hosting Cleveland. This game was pushed back to 5:05 Eastern time. It is on the slate. Like button to be awesome. We got a huge crowd today. It's one of our bigger shows. We got to get JJ back in here. Maybe it'll get even bigger next time. But huge crowd today. Let's get the like buttons going. It helps us with the algorithm or whatever. We already talked about the new code, third 33, like third and schlong. 3 RD33. Third, 33. That's 33% off your first payment. And we're giving away $1,000. Is that right, Gary? To somebody that signs up? I don't know how it's working.
Using that code. They got to use that code between now and July 4th. And on July 4th, the powers that be are going to select somebody for $1,000.
$1,000 for K Fallick. I mean, that's jump money. That's jump money for K Fallick. He doesn't care. He just keeps winning and winning and winning. Cleveland and the Cubs. The last game on the DFS slate. Savali and Tyone. Jameson Tyone has been doo-doo. I remember this dude got drafted by the Pirates. He was going to be one of the great pitchers coming up. He was supposed to be Garrett Cole, but it didn't work out for him. Savali, on the other hand, do we want to test the waters with him with Cleveland at the Cubs? Gary.
I mean, it's really tough because when I first do the slate, I just look through who's pitching and I'm like, oh God, I'm going to be stacking the Guardians today because Jameson Taillon is straight trash. And then I look at the weather and it's like, well, it's going to be chilly. We got 10-mile-an-hour wind blowing straight in from center and the ballpark where wind means the most. So, man, I guess these pitchers have to be in play. I mean, it's just going to be chilly. It's going to be the wind blowing in. I still don't really think I'm going to do it because I can't click these guys' names. Aaron Savale and Taillon are two of the worst pitchers for DFS. You can possibly get. None of them get strikeouts. I mean, and Taillon is just, 353 ISO and a 459 WOBA against lefties this year. 58% hard contact rate. I know it's the Guardians and they don't hit homers at all. But this should help them a lot theoretically. But then you got 10-mile-an-hour wind blowing straight in from center. So it's the team that hits the least amount of homers is now going to be in the worst park for homers. So I just can't do it. I'm just going to pretend this game doesn't exist and go on about my day. And even though we can't collect our winnings until 7 or 8 o'clock Eastern tonight because this game got moved back, but I can't do it today.
Well, I hope you have a wonderful day doing that, Gary. I'll get your thoughts on final DFS thoughts here in just a minute, but let's get Joey's thoughts on the final DFS side, but from a betting side. So it's the Guardians, the Cubs, Savali, Taillon, modest total of 8. Cubs even money, and the Guardians -20 on the road. Anything here?
Yeah, I definitely don't trust Savali either. He's came back 5 starts. He's given up 2 earned runs in 4 of them, at least 2 earned runs in 4 of the 5. He doesn't really strike out many people. And then obviously Taillon, I don't know what the fuck is happening to this guy this year, but he's been absolutely terrible. His advanced number is really bad. The only positive, he doesn't really walk many people. The guy has, he has good stuff. I want to say he throws 6 different pitches, has decent stuff. He just can't put it all together. He pitched good for the Yankees when it got paid, and now he's a dumpster fire. So this is a full stay away from me as well. So yeah, I'm just going to stay away from this game.
Stick a fork in it. Okay. Very good. Gary, you want to give us a play of the day here for DFS, and then Joey and I will take it the rest of the way.
I'm just going to take the easy button. I'm going to go with my boy whose jersey I'm wearing right now, Ronald Acuna Jr. The dude just mashes these Marlins. I'm just going to go there. I'm going to keep on doing it. He's on a heater. He tries to steal every bag against this team, too. He got picked off the other day trying to steal third after just stealing second, but ultra aggressive on the base pass. He's already got 20 home runs and 35 steals before the All-Star break, and I'm pretty sure that's the first time in the history of the league that's been done. I'm just going to continue playing the best player in baseball outside of Ohtani.
Hey, clear something up for me here. We got Morahone starting today. Is Darvish coming in and pitching?
No, he's not pitching. Darvish was hurt. I think Darvish is going to start tomorrow or Tuesday or something. Okay. But
all right, very good. I just want to make sure.
Darvish has the flu.
He's got something going on with him.
Yeah, he has the flu. Pedro Avila is coming in afterwards. I don't know if you listened to my breakdown.
So Morahone, Avila, and then the rest of the bullpen.
Correct.
Well, no, DraftKings had nothing, and then they put Darvish in there for some reason, and I don't know why they did that. So, but Gary, always good seeing you, pal. Take care of yourself. Great job today, and we'll catch you next Sunday. Yeah.
Peace out.
Later, home skillet. All right, very good. So Gary, we'll move him on out. We got the late slate. We're going to talk betting. If you want to throw out a player or two, that's fine, Joey. But let's break this down now in a game that's He played about 45 minutes for me. It's been weird weather here, but it's going to be nice and warm in Colorado. Connor Siebold, pitching machine going up against the Tigers and Matt Manning. Boy, the Tigers offense has just, it's been awful here, Joey. Game 1, game 2, they just have done nothing here at Coors. This was a very low scoring game that had to go into extra innings last night. Rockies bats have been okay. Ezekiel Tovar has been a cash cow if you've been betting some of his props. Tigers, Rockies, 11.5 total. Just about even on both sides, -110, -115. So talk to me here, Joey. Any plays in Detroit at Colorado?
I mean, I do expect the Tigers to probably score some runs after Mr. Siebold. You know, his numbers are bad. Advanced stuff is bad. The guy throws a fucking 92-mile-an-hour fastball. He's a righty, too. Normally, it's okay if it's a lefty. He's a righty throwing 92 miles an hour in Coors Field. I mean, that's a recipe for disaster. On the other, Matt Manning, so he went on the IL. I think he broke his foot. He pitched like 3 rehab starts, then came back and pitched 1 start in Texas, his last start. Now he gets no favors here in Colorado. Another guy that doesn't strike out many batters. His walks have been up. He walked 4 people last start. So, I mean, the over-under is only 11.5. After yesterday, that's why, but definitely expect runs here and lean with the over.
Okay, very good. Moving on to our next game. That'll be Touki Toussaint is back in the world, man. Touki Toussaint and the White Sox visiting Paul Blackburn and the A's. Some of these starting pitchers, Joey, have gotten a little better as the year went on. We've got Hogan Harris. We got Blackburn. There's a couple guys in that rotation, at least keeping them in the games. The White Sox seem to be a train wreck sometimes. They got a couple of bats that are going, but the A's against Touki Toussaint, this is AAA baseball for me today. -135 of the road for Chicago. I almost want to take Oakland +115 out of principal. Maybe in the first 5, the total's 8.5. Is this just a shit game that you want to stay away from, Joey, or can we find something here?
Yeah, this is a shit game, but if you're going to take Oakland, definitely take them on the first 5 because their bullpen is, I think I have them ranked as the worst in baseball. So, and Blackburn is not terrible. If they could get a couple runs off Touki Toussaint, say they get 2-3 runs off Touki Toussaint, they should win the first 5. Blackburn's actually advanced numbers have been quite good this year. He's only allowed 30% hard hit rate, which is fucking top 10 in the league. He doesn't walk many people. Strikeouts are up. His advanced numbers have been quite good. The guy throws a 6-pitch mix, literally throws all 6 pitches. On the other end, Touki Toussaint, definitely not somebody I trust. He's only in his 3 starts so far this year. He's only pitched 10 total innings, so we know we're not going to get much out of him. Then it's the White Sox bullpen, whose White Sox bullpen I have them ranked as the 9th worst in baseball. I mean, they were up there as one of the worst. They've slowly got better, but they still have a couple key injuries in that bullpen. So, yeah, I definitely expect that's why this line, Oakland's, what are they, +110? This is the lowest Oakland has been probably almost all year, maybe.
Yep.
So, yeah, the books know Oakland probably wins this game, and so do we.
I mean, Touki Toussaint, man, that's going back in the time machine right there. Holy moly. Again, Joe, I'm telling you, that first 5 is looking a little juicy. If I get plus money on the A's, it's uncomfortable. There might not be a reason to do it, but it's almost out of principle at this point. All right, we still got 3 games to get to. So I know that the Diamondbacks Angels game treated you well last night, and we'll see if it does again. Zach Gallen going to the mound for Arizona, and Reed Detmers on the hill for the Angels. Diamondbacks, little favorites here, -105 on the road. Actually, it's the Angels -115, but it's basically a coin flip, Joey. 8.5 is the total. You like Gallen here, don't you?
Yeah, as long as they keep giving me the Diamondbacks as fucking underdogs versus the Angels, I'll take them every game. I think I bet them the last 2 games. They won both games, and they're giving it to us again. I don't like what the fucking – these 2 teams are not really comparable. I'm sorry. The Angels, all right, they're decent. The record has showed decent thus far, but guess what? What are the Angels going to do? The Angels are going to be the fucking Angels, start losing some games, not make the playoffs, and, like, this Arizona team is real. Even though Arizona's lineup yesterday was fucking disgusting, and they still won that game because the Angels can't score. If Ohtani doesn't hit a fucking homer, this team can't score. Now they should have the regular lineup back in there today for Arizona. Zach Gallen has been quite good. I know Reed Detmers has been quite good too, but I mean, Gallen has pitched really good almost all year, even last year. This guy last year was phenomenal. This year he's pitched. He's relegated a little bit, but he still pitched really good. I get it. Detmers pitched good his last, 3 starts against the Cubs, the Dodgers, the White Sox. Whoop-de-fucking-do. You go past that. You go past that, he gave it up at least 3 earned runs in 7 of the last 8 starts prior to that. So, I mean, he does have good stuff. He strikes out a decent amount of people, but this, as I mentioned time and time again, this Arizona team knows how to manufacture runs. I think they're second in the league in stolen bases, first in the league or top 5 in runs scored this year. So, yeah, I'm taking the dog here. I'm taking Arizona. They're the better team altogether. Starting pitching matchup, Zach Allen is slightly better than Reed Detmers. And bullpen-wise, I definitely have Arizona ranked higher too.
Okay, very good. Where we got 2 more games to get to. We'll go to Tampa Bay and Seattle. Taj Bradley and Luis Castillo. This is a really good pitching matchup, Joey. It's the lowest total on the board at 7.5. Just the over a little bit at -115. Rays +110 on the road. Mariners -130. Castillo's been a machine, but Bradley's been pretty damn good too. We've actually seen a little offense in this series, Joey. Any thoughts on the Rays at Seattle?
It's probably a Rays or pass here. Bradley's off his worst start of the year, which is good if you want to back him. That's why we're getting a nice number here. But he's been quite good all year. You know, his strikeouts numbers, he's striking people out 32% of at-bats. Doesn't walk many people. His advanced numbers are quite good. Luis Castillo, on the other, obviously Luis Castillo is a very good pitcher. He's been a really good pitcher basically his whole career, but he does give up runs every start. You know, he gives up 2-3 runs, 1-2-3 runs every start. Does he come in here and shut down this Tampa Bay team, whose offensive-wise has been top 5 in baseball? Probably not. Tampa Bay, the problem with Tampa Bay is their bullpen sucks. So if you want to take Tampa, I prefer probably take them on the first 5. This Mariners offense is hit or miss too. This Mariners offense can show up, score, 4 runs on three homers and 3 solo homers and a double or something, or they could get fucking blanked. This team swings and misses a shit ton. So yeah, it's Tampa Bay or pass. I'm likely just going to stay away.
Okay, one more game. This will be the Sunday night game with the Giants visiting the Mets. I mean, the Giants are +110 dogs here against David Peterson. -130 for the Mets. The total is 9. Joey, we were talking about these teams just being disasters, and the Mets are one of those teams. And now you got a primetime game. You got David Peterson against the Giants team that I like the Giants just because of the price, dude. I just like the Giants because of the price.
Yeah, it doesn't matter who would I don't find the reasoning behind making the Mets a favorite here, no matter who's on the fucking hill for the Giants. Like, the Mets bullpen has been absolutely terrible the last 2 weeks. I get a Ross Stripling's not great. His advanced numbers are bad, but David Peterson sucks too. Giants historically have been quite good versus lefties, and Stripling's like last 2 starts have not two. I guess 2 starts haven't been terrible. He's going to pitch about 3-4 innings, I would expect. They don't want him definitely not 3 times around, probably 1.5 times around the lineup, and then hand it over to bullpen, depending on how he pitches. Hand it over to bullpen. Obviously, he pitches to contact, but Mr. Peterson has been absolutely terrible too. So it's like, and he's off a good start here. The previous starts before that, he gave up 14 earned runs in 13 innings, less than 14 innings. So he's giving up a run per inning. Prior to that, his ERA is through the roof. His advanced numbers are terrible. I think the Giants are a better team altogether right now. So, yeah, it's Giants or pass. And, yeah, I'm probably just going to let this one stay away. It looks like there's a little rain possibility, too, here in New York. So, yeah, I'm going to stay away.
All right, like button will be great. We appreciate you hanging out with us, watching the show today. Third 33. Here, I'm going to type it in again because – man, I know it's third and schlong, but come on, guys. We got third 33. Third 33. 33% off first payment. Plus, if you sign up before July 4th, is that tomorrow, Joey? Or is that 2 days from now?
2 days. 2 days.
2 days from now, you sign up, you get somebody's getting $1,000. We're picking somebody that signs up, and we're giving them $1,000. So third 33. Time for the best bets. Joey, I'm going to go right to that game we talked about. I'm going to take the Giants at +110. Love the price. There's also now Joey's like 1,000 unit better. I'm 100 unit better. But if you want to throw a half unit down, Rangers +210 on the run line. That'll be my second favorite bet. The Whalecock play of the day. Braves over 2.5 runs, -1,200. So Mets losing to the Giants. So Giants +110, Rangers +210, run line on DK, just a $50 limit there. And then Braves Whalecock play over 2.5. What's the real plays here, Joey?
Yeah, so I'm taking the Dodgers first 5, -0.5, -118 to be a FanDuel. Yankees Cardinals first 5 under 4 via BetMGM -110, and then Diamondbacks money line via FanDuel -104.
All right, you guys can catch me on VSiN coming up in about an hour. I know Joey works. I'm going to try and figure out his schedule. He can hop on with me as well. Third, 33, 3 RD 33, 33% off. We'll be giving away $1,000 to somebody that signs up. For Gary, from my man Joey Work, I'm Holden. Keep running pure.